buddy was watching there.
Yeah.
I think I got some more friend requests. That's people are sending me friend requests and subscribing to my YouTube channel every day.
But you can't get into it.
And I can't get into it. And I've lost track of how many views I must have by now. You know what I mean?
You can't get into your YouTube account.
And at 10,000, every 10,000 views is basically $500.
But you can't get into your YouTube
If I had to advertise on it, I can't get into it.
You got to get a new YouTube channel.
Because it sits there and says, we do not. No, I can't get a new YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is recognized for years. It has all my subscribers and all my videos on it. I can't do that. It has to be that YouTube channel.
You can't log into it.
I can log into. I'm logged into it on this. Like I go on my YouTube channel on PlayStation, but it doesn't have my actual channel function.
It doesn't have the full functionality.
No, I can look at all my videos, but I can't. It doesn't have the full functionality.
Huh.
It's just the PlayStation version of YouTube.
That sucks. You need an upgrade.
Yeah. Maybe on PlayStation 5 it'll have the real YouTube.
Who knows?
But that's what it is.
What's the only way you're gonna get
And
that
I've never
phone?
edited a video before. If I actually edited videos so they weren't like 6 hours long, and made like 10, 15-minute videos with music and commentary, then I would get lots more views.
Probably.
Because I already have a lot of...
Because people don't want to sit through like 6 hours of video.
Exactly. But some people do. Some people sit there and watch me for hours and they're totally entertained.
Would be for
People come
special
on and they're
treatment.
like, wow, that was a perfect game.
Or the ceases people looking at it going, okay, there's a
Well, those
code
guys are
there
nerdy
somewhere.
too. They're probably watching me and they're impressed.
They're looking for a code. He must be talking in code somewhere around here, or the way he does his truth loop and all that stuff. It's got to be a code.
It's a message to Jundola.
How to
He's showing them how to build a base.
and send thousands of troops to their deaths.
And I'm on here saying, that is my La ilaha illallah flag that they march past to their deaths. It's the last thing they see before they die. The little
He's
crescent,
talking
the
about
crescent
killing
moon,
people and-
the flag of Islam. That's the last thing they see before they die. Right there. All lit up. It's perfect.
He says he never sees telephone wires. That's weird.
Yeah, I never saw those until you actually mentioned them. That's how stoned
Have
I've
you seen the
been.
trees and the rocks over there?
That's how stoned I've been when I've been playing this game. And I had no clue that. And you know what it keeps doing?
What?
They keep turning my gore off.
That's the only thing that keeps you happy.
Well, that made me happier when I finally discovered there was gore in the game and blood spraying everywhere. I had no clue before that. I was like, what the fuck?
Nasty shit.
That needed a little tiny millimeter adjustment.
So I read out a couple of game plans to get off this schizophrenia diagnosis kind of thing.
Well, get in contact with that doctor I told you about.
That's one way of doing it.
I don't know if he's taking new patients, but if he is, well,
Another way of doing it is showing all the diagnoses that have been given before and after. the
you'll like him because he's a military doctor.
I even got a diagnosis.
He's the kind of doctor that if you can prove that you do better off meds, he'll take you off of them and say that you do.
All I gotta do is
Yeah.
tell him, like, during this period when I was going
When
through
he made my
divorce and all this
diagnosis,
stuff.
he literally said on my diagnosis from him, after going to see him for like 2 years, that I did better off of medication. I mean, which contradicts what every other doctor's trying to say, that I need meds and I'm refusing to take them.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Because the first thing the doctor should do is do no harm.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, look at me. I'm fat.
I told him the medication makes me more anxious, and I fight it.
I had the doctor from Brooklyn say that my stiffness in my hands and my feet is
And I
from
said it makes me
arthritis.
more depressed, it makes me more anxious, it makes me more angry because it makes me out of shape and everything else, and all these symptoms I get from that are worse than the fucking illness.
He says I have arthritis. The doctor from Brooklyn. That's why he said my hands and my feet. No. The drug causes stiffness.
And you can be like in your jaw too sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It causes stiffness. He doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit that it causes diabetes. It causes obesity. Things like that. It's just a fucking idiot.
Well, they were able to give me one needle and set me loose because they knew I wouldn't take any more after that, even though they tried to get me to. They knew they couldn't make me follow a community treatment order. Fuck that.
Like,
How you gonna do that when I'm on my phone, motherfucker?
But the thing is, it says on my conditional discharge that on his consent he takes the drug, which means I have to consent to it. As far as I understand, I'm not.
But it's not really your consent because of the way that they're going about things. You can't drive unless you do. You can't be free unless you do this and that.
No.
So it's not really consensual. They're forcing you to psychologically, and by threatening to take things away from you.
Fear, fraud, and force.
Threatening to take life necessities away from you, like driving a car.
Drugs.
You know, exactly.
Where I was freer and more happier when I was off this stuff.
Because you're not a drug addict. Most schizophrenic people are drug addicts and they love their medication because it makes them high. So you don't realize, Rob, you're actually stoned all the time on this. All those fuzzy feelings it gives you, you're actually high.
So all those times when I'm lying on my bed going, itchy, is
Well,
all that stuff? Could be.
You're stoned. And they give you monthly injections that make you high.
Great.
Slows down your brain so you don't think so much, or that's why you can't
Like my
organize
reaction
your
time
thoughts.
is down off the ball. Like my pool game is suffering.
Well, yeah, because they've slowed down the synapses in your brain
Yeah.
so that you don't think as
Which
fast.
means I have ADD.
Yeah, because of the drug.
No, I have ADD that's schizophrenia. Like I'm able to make all those quick calculations so quickly.
Yeah.
And stuff because I have ADD.
You know why they do that? Because we're geniuses and they want to slow us down. They don't want us to be able to make those quick calculations.
I mean, if I was diagnosed with some shit and the doctor kept on changing the medication every month,
Don't you realize there's like
a lot of times, and I was sleeping 60
it's like
hours
a world
day,
order to keep everybody dumbed
that means this
down. They,
shit's
they
not
want
good for
everyone
me.
to be dumbed down.
Yeah, they're just jealous that I have a higher IQ than them.
So I want to take that away from you
Yeah.
by labeling you as a disease instead of saying you're gifted.
Which is reason enough to join the Church of Scientology.
There you go.
So I don't oppose the medication anyway, because it could be something else. It could be just psychology.
And they could give you very good vocational training there.
At the Church of Scientology?
That would help
What do you mean
you.
vocational training?
Vocational training that would help you, like,
Get a job?
yeah, everything.
Really?
Yeah, they give you amazing vocational.
Well, then I would donate to the church.
Well, there you go.
I get like 100,000.
They do the best vocational trainer in the world. Where do you think all those actors get their skills from?
Get 100,000 paid a year. I'd make a donation to the church. Fucking right. Would be on ODSB.
They do very good vocational training.
I wouldn't have to be a member of churches. No, I'm just saying for the resources. Here's.
Well, if you were a member of that, you can say through religion that you can't do these drugs, and you can have the Church of Scientology people back you up and write letters and everything else,
So
and
we just have to be a member
they
of
don't
church.
ever challenge the Church of Scientology because they know they come with their fucking $10,000 an hour lawyers and they don't just come with one of them, they come with a team. If they fuck you over for that, if you're an actual Scientologist and they
All they have
force
to
you
do
on
is
meds,
join the church.
they're fucked.
All I have to do is join the church.
You won't have to even pay those lawyers because Church Scientology loves suing the fucking psychiatric system.
And then I can say thank you for your services. Here's a donation.
There you go.
Based on the winnings.
They love to sue those
You
guys.
won $500,000.
They
on
love
the
to do it. If you're a
lawsuit. Oh, really?
Scientologist
Here you
and
go,
they've
Church of
medicated you
Scientology.
against your
Here's
will, they love to
$125,000.
go in there with their team of lawyers and fuck them up. That's why the doctors shit themselves if they hear you're a Scientologist when you go in. If you tell me you're a Scientologist,
You know what they would do then?
They won't even
They would
touch
say,
you.
They would claim that he's off his meds or something like that. He's going to be.
They would say it was a
himself.
delusion of grandeur, but you have to prove it you're a Scientologist. You prove it right away, they shit their pants. They're like, oh no, we gave him an injection, we're fucked. Because you know what? They know that they raped you then. Any forced injection is considered statutory rape under Canadian law.
There you go.
It's actual rape
I
because
can get him even for
it's
that.
actually legally considered rape because they're penetrating you against your will. They're penetrating your body. You don't have to penetrate your ass to rape you.
Because I heard a long time ago that the definition
Any
of rape is
form of
penetration.
penetration against your will is considered rape under Canadian law, and that includes a needle. You know what I mean? So all the fucking times I could get them for that.
So you're using coercion and fierce and fraud to make you take a drug.
That's extortion, yeah.
So extortion, basically.
That's
Could also-
extortion.
could also be
If you,
rape. So they rape you in brothel too.
if you can't fucking, basically, if you don't let us rape you, then we're gonna take away your candy.
Basically, that's it.
It's like abusing a child sexually.
They were telling me it would look good.
If you don't take this drug, we're not gonna let you drive. And if you can't drive, you're gonna have no livelihood. You can't drive to work.
They even said, well, if you don't take the drugs, Rob, it's gonna look bad on you on your review board.
Who wants to work if they can't drive anymore? If you can't drive yourself to work, then you gotta start taking the bus system.
Yeah.
Fuck that. If I can't walk to work or drive to work, I ain't going.
They would probably say, you get all these free resources when you're on disability. Yeah, but have you ever lived on disability? It's not a living. You barely scrape by. It's not a life.
If a loaf of bread was still fucking $1, then it would be.
Yeah, it's not a life. I don't know what they're talking about.
But the price of food and shit's gone up so much in
And
rent.
even put on CPBD, it's the same thing as ODSP. It's the same amount.
See how much money the rent's got up over the last year or two in Ottawa?
Exactly.
But they don't raise disability at all. So we should have the right to at least a bachelor apartment, you know? Not a fucking
They don't
room
want the
somewhere.
disabled people to stay in Ottawa.
Yeah, they don't want us to have apartments
They
either.
want the lowlifes, shall we say, to move out of Ottawa.
Exactly.
They want to turn to the
First they're gonna stick us all in Vanier.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they ruined Sally Ann there.
Yeah. They don't want the disabled people to stay in Ottawa. They don't want people on social assistance to stay in Ottawa. Because it's not touristy. It's a long-term plan. They wanted to build for retiree zone. Respectable people.
That's why they're gonna have free internet all over the city. Wi-Fi everywhere. They're doing that just for the rich people.
They have that in Perth. Very happy in Perth. Free Wi-Fi all over the city.
Yeah, they're gonna do that here in Ottawa too.
Which means you have your device Wi-Fi enabled. You know what that means? They
Means what?
monitor your shit.
But it also means that cell phone companies are gonna lose billions of dollars, so they're in on the conspiracy with them.
No, they're against it.
Probably.
Because people use Wi-Fi so much when they find out.
Exactly. Nobody would pay for their plans, monthly plans anymore on a cell phone. Or even pay to go.
Wi-Fi enabled without a SIM card.
So they'd be putting those corporations out of business.
But the thing is, all those Wi-Fi devices will be trackable by the police.
Yep.
That's
They
what
can
want.
find you within 50 feet on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what I have.
They can track you to within 50 feet using satellite.
And then they
They've
just-
caught me like that a few times.
Yeah.
So I turn off my phone as soon as the cops are knocking on my door. If I plan to hide, I turn the phone off. Because otherwise they know I'm there. They have those tracking devices in their cars.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty wild, eh?
So if they want to harass you for whatever reason,
Yeah.
like you read, you
They
can
can
file a
just
lawsuit.
follow you around and fucking.
Like you can file a lawsuit. All they got to do is send out a.
They can just
message to
GPS
the-
your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and when if they're driving around and something, you show up on their Wi-Fi SIM kind of thing. Oh, yeah, let's go harass this guy. I've got nothing to do right now. They can do it.
Get done to me before. They used to take me to the hospital like 2-3 times a day when they see that I converted to Islam.
Really?
Just for the fuck of it. They took me to the general. They took me
just
there
because
once and
you're-
6 times in one day, and I got
because you converted to Islam.
Yeah. They were fucking taking me,
That's
taking away
discrimination.
my hats, taking away my robes, taking away my Korans, fucking, and then letting me back out again. And
Without this stuff, right?
without the stuff, yeah. And they did that
That's
to me
discrimination.
like over and over, and like, until
Can you prove that?
yeah, and until finally the RCMP went to my main mosque there and said that Jay's not allowed to come to this mosque anymore. So the president of the mosque told me the RCMP said I wasn't allowed to attend anymore because
They're not allowing you to practice your faith.
watching me there on the cameras.
Really? They're
Yeah.
not allowing you to practice your faith.
Not at that particular mosque,
Uh-huh.
because that mosque made me an imam.
They made you what?
An imam,
Oh,
because I was converting other people to Islam.
interesting.
Oh, you didn't know I was an imam?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty famous that way.
I didn't know that.
I have about 3,000.
It's a real looking mosque you got going on.
3,000. I had a little mini mosque in one of my apartments.
Well, you gotta get your stuff back or replacement for it somehow.
All I have left is this rug and that little
Well, you
plate.
can use this
And that plate has a
prayer.
chip on it.
You
But
can't use
it
this-
also has 2 ounces of gold.
You can't use this thing for prayer.
I
First of
can.
all, it's dirty.
I'd have to wash it, obviously, but
Like really wash it. Besides,
Yeah.
my feet have been on it.
I know.
And my feet aren't clean.
But your prayer rugs, you're allowed to put whatever you want on them and do whatever you want on them. It's not a big issue.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
all your
just
stuff
preferred.
that you take out of your pockets before you pray, everything.
It's just preferred that it's clean.
They tell you it's your road, you can do whatever you want with it, basically. But the Quran, you can't touch it even if unless you've washed
From
your
what I
hands.
understand, it can't even touch the ground.
You can't even touch your hands on the Quran unless you wash your hands.
Which kind of makes sense.
In a certain way first, not just wash them like normal. You gotta wash them 3
Maybe
times.
that's why there's water all over the fucking place in the bathroom, because Rashid doesn't wash his hands like that.
No, that was Sylvie. She took a shower tonight. She came out and said, "There's water on the floor."
Yeah, because you just had a shower. You're not completely dry when the shower's over.
You're supposed to grab your towel and start drying off a bit in the shower before you get out.
Not really.
Well,
You don't have to.
you should when there's a mat in there, because otherwise it just gets wet and then gross stuff gets on it and it's fucking nasty.
But even other
And then things
times-
start to grow and then they chew on us when we sleep.
But even other times, it's like
You know, there's like little things chewing on us from that washer, man. You just go like num 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 num, because it's like life growing,
probably in the washer.
life's growing in there, feeding on the shit particles everywhere that were all over that floor. That was all shit. That was nasty. Shit and asshole hairs. That's all I seen in that washer that we swept up tonight.
pretty much.
That's fucking gross. Imagine if Brandy had came and I hadn't cleaned that. That was nasty.
Or if she shows up, and that
She would
stuff
never
hadn't
came
been-
back.
Or she looks in the toilet and discovers that that stuff hadn't flushed.
I lived in a room once in the 5 years she saw me, and it was worse than this. So, and she used to visit me there all the time. So I know I don't mind her visiting me here.
That's good.
She's seen me in worse
Does her place
situations.
clean?
I've never been to her place.
She doesn't let you at her place.
She invites me all the time. I just have never gone.
So good.
I
Gotta
just
get
don't
your
go.
bus pass.
Every time she wants me to go, I never have any money to go. I'm down on my last $5 and I'm using it to snort my lines. It's not going anywhere. I want to be ripping a little piece of paper to crush pills and rolling the straws. I need a bill for that. Paper wrecks on one pill. Can't crush it up. Need that $5 bill. I have to save that $5 bill all months. For only $5. Like last night I had today Mentos and 2 packs of smokes and another case of
You
ginger
get around
ale.
with smokes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna run out of smokes. I'll probably end up selling a few pills to Graham for smokes or Sylvie because I got 40. So we didn't get you.
Start yelling at you, then it's gonna get you thrown out and stuff.
Yeah. Did you hear him that night? He's like, get the fuck out. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like he
buddy.
runs the place.
Yeah, exactly. Thinks he does.
Yeah, he does.
But little does he know that fucking Graham already gave me his fucking goodwill to fucking knock him out and send him out of here anytime I want to. Before I even left for a boat. As long, he said all I have to do is make sure, someone has to cut the lawn. And I was like, okay. If he keeps pushing me further, well,
Oh, Jill would probably take the lawnmower.
well, there you go.
Yeah, he would.
He was willing to kick Jill, Rashid, and her out. If I could get better people to move in and keep the house clean.
Well, I
and
got
stuff.
one guy that'd be ready to move in once he gets his high school. Andy wants to work. He doesn't want to.
No,
stand
but
out
yeah,
his
but
feet forever.
Graham would like it if different people were here. Though.
Well, he doesn't mind Rashid that much. 'Cause
No,
basically-
Rashid's quiet.
He doesn't know him, he knows him. But, that's fun to still do the background.
That's the stuff that's bringing all the bugs in here, no matter how many times you kill them. There's reasons why people throw that shit out. Oh, that looks nice. Like when I throw that microwave out, someone's gonna go find it, see that it works, and be like, wow.
So it's gonna bring it up, yeah.
You know what I mean? And their house is gonna get infested. And they're gonna be like, how did that happen? And little are they gonna know it was because of the fucking $500 microwave that someone threw out. There was a reason that it was thrown out when I thrown it out. It's because it's got fucking shit in it.
There's 3 or 4 bikes down in the basement. So this thing must be stolen.
Yeah,
They're just sitting
probably finds them not locked up and takes them.
No. They're just sitting there. Probably selling them.
I can't believe that I made Wave 25 last night. And beat Warren Square all at the same time.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha! So I showed that to Warren. 63,000 motherfucker and Wave 25. Read it, Wave. That's the first time I actually saw Wave 25 and it didn't even beat me. saying the fridge was hers too.
Yep.
Meanwhile, it wasn't. It was the people that lived in here before me that left it behind.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know that because it was here in my room when I came here.
She claims
and Graham told me that, you know, that was stuff that they left.
Yeah.
And then I gave that to you, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, because it was the one I left behind. I went and bought a new one, and I gave you that one.
Pretty much.
It wasn't hers.
Anything that's left behind there, that's
She
not
claims
tied
it,
up,
yeah.
she claims it.
So like, the day I got back from the boat, she's like, "Do you have my fridge up there?" I was like, "What? That's never been your fridge. It was the people before me. Then it was mine. Then I gave it to fucking Rob. So technically, it was your fridge. It's your fridge.
Yeah.
But you gave back
If
to
these
me.
chairs are hers, perhaps they belong.
Technically, it's my fridge.
These
Again,
chairs here? If she says they belong there, perhaps
the first day I moved in, that was my fridge because the people left it here, and I kept it, and then I gave it to you. So technically, it's my fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it is. That's what Graham said. He said possession's 9/10 of the law. When you had my TV and stuff, that's what he said.
Yeah. And Graham's renting the place, so basically the shit is the house. Like as far as I understand, he doesn't have to let us stay here.
We gotta let
You can
Graham.
take our money
We
back
gotta
to
see
the
if Graham can fix that TV.
Oh, I took a picture of the model number and all that.
Okay, and what did he say?
Oh, I didn't do it.
Oh,
I just took a picture of it.
we need to find out. Because if he
I know
can't,
it needs
because if he can't fix it, then I am willing to pay for Samsung to fix it for him. Because just of how much it cost originally, you know? It's worth it to do that. The TV even has this 3D function. You throw 3D glasses on and you can watch 3D shit.
Baby 23. Not too bad.
So if I'm gonna make it to 24 and 25 again.
Could be. Ah.
They fucking dodged it, the bastards. Did you see that?
Yeah, got a few of them. Oh, you got 3 now. They good kid.
Originally they all just went yoink and they all made a circle around it.
Yeah. They somehow knew you were gonna play
Cheating
it.
bastards.
Yeah, that's what it
This game cheats. See, they just tear gassed me and froze all my guys and pretty got there too, bastards. Oh, they wore off too. Hey, my score is 51. Yeah, I could use my score again and again. Because I made the base so great now that it
Now it's
gets to
54.
higher levels.
53.
If I beat wave 24, then I'm going to be able to get there.
It's 54 now.
55.
Wow.
Like there's more people dying than that. Throwing up. But it's 24 again.
I don't think you make it wait 25.
No, not this time. Wave 25 might appear if I... Nah, probably not.
But they're not gonna take it.
I don't think wave 24 will take that. The base is still pretty intact there.
They're not even close enough yet.
Yeah, first thing is going to go out there is that border and just focus on it. Yeah, look at that. Sure, and it gives me another one. 2 of them. Didn't even make it to the base. That's fucking awesome.
Shiny chip.
Yeah, at the 58.
You got that shooting chip.
Yeah. That's great. Look at that, 60.
What'd your high score? 61?
63 now. But I'm not going to make it to 63 this time. There's not enough time for me to make it. It's going to run out in 5
You got
seconds.
a double one to shoot.
That's pretty awesome. So now I know it's really easy to beat Warner's score. That's great.
You got to pick up sweets.
You want a pack of Mentos?
No, that's not sweets.
No? You don't like those?
They're not bad, but that wouldn't do.
Chocolate cake. You know, the longest been since I've had chocolate cake?
A long time.
Many, many years.
You like chocolate cake?
I do. I just sent me a Facebook request.
Oh,
10:54.
10:54?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, it's early still.
Went to the bar for something to do, hung out for a couple hours, and I'm still home early, I'm still fucking bored. I ain't shit to do. See if I had my kid around that and stuff.
Put some notes down for me about the employment thing with the Veterans Affairs. So I can write.
Random shit.
So yeah, well, put that random shit down so I can compile it.
Yeah, but you notice something, oh, this is going like this kind of case, that going that kind of case. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Or you might go, wait a second, you mentioned this before.
You know what I call that? I used to do that on pages and write fucking like 20 different things on a page.
It's called a mind map.
I call that giggly goop.
It's called a mind map, basically.
Yeah.
You write something down and then you draw strings or arrows. Kind of
Yeah, and little. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do. I do that too.
It's called a mind map.
And I sort it out later.
That's how I think.
I should be writing stuff down. I
think
haven't been
strategically
writing
that-
stuff down anymore.
That's how an investigator works.
That's how I think. That's how I've been planning out this base since I started designing it.
That's how an investigator works too, by the way. Using mind maps. You ever see those TV shows when you got the investigators and they write stuff on a squeegee board or something like that?
Yeah, I'm very good at cause and effect.
Yeah.
I know how one thing's gonna affect that and how that's gonna affect everything that follows.
Yeah.
You know, like the ripple in the pond.
I can just see problems. I know that this would cause that kind of problem. I know it's that kind of problem. I know it's that kind of problem.
But I'm like Pinky in the Brain. I always try to devise like world conquer plans.
That's why I like you, because I find the problems and find, okay, I don't like these people. I see these kinds of problems related to them. Hand it over to Jay and he'll fuck them up. Perfect. That's why I think causing a lot of financial damage. All these people that piss me off is one of the best ways to do things.
I don't like what Brazil's doing to its population over there, and I don't like the fact that Canada's buying fucking beef jerky from them.
You know what it is, right? It's not beef jerky.
That's like making deal. That's like doing free trade with fucking terrorists.
It's not beef jerky.
I know.
It's all those people that disappeared. That
Exactly. Fucking all sliced and diced and smoked
you
up
go.
in fucking little jungle fires.
It's been so loaded with salts and preservatives that they can't tell the difference.
Mmm, tastes sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like a
stripped
human.
meat. You can almost taste the Brazilian fibers in this.
Yeah, as soon as I looked at one of the packages and it said product of Brazil on it, I just felt sick right after. I was like, oh my god.
They got a shitload of forest, but not that many cows. Come on.
What are they doing?
They
Like,
like to preserve the rainforest.
shipping big fucking steamships of cows over to Brazil?
It
Like,
takes
come
a
on.
lot of farmland to raise a couple of cows.
All they have is jungle out there.
Pretty much. And river.
The
It takes a lot of farmland to raise
the cows would get fucking malaria from the mosquitoes there,
Yeah.
and they would die in the jungle.
It takes a shitload of farmland to raise a cow.
So what the fuck's really
Especially
going on
beef
with that
cow.
picture? Why is Canada buying beef jerky from a country that was overrun by guerrilla terrorists? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and some of those Italian restaurants, you know where they get their
You know why?
You know where
It's
they get their
because all
food
the
from?
politicians like going over there for the little girls.
Those Italian restaurants.
No, in Brazil.
Oh.
That's why they let them get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're trading with them.
Yeah.
Because they love their sex tourism. All those high up fucking white guys are all fucking Diddlers.
You know, some of those Italian restaurants that are in with the mob, you know where they get all those cheap steak cuts for? Yeah.
Alright.
From the slaughterhouse.
Sometimes there's a couple bodies hanging in there beside the cows.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's how they get rid of the evidence. There's even the Carlton Tavern, they have steaks in
The
it,
best
like-
way that my mom taught me to get rid of bodies
12 pounds.
was with a python. You chop them, chop them. No, you just chop them in like pieces that big.
Feed them to
right?
the python?
Feed them to the python, and it
Those
just
are
shits out
solid.
the bone dust with no DNA whatsoever. Just dust comes out of them. The shit
Nice.
turns into white dust, and you just fertilize the garden with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Did you get a python?
Dad used to shoot them. Mom used to chop them up and feed them to steak. Jace is there drinking his fucking wine. Here's your wine in your baby bottle, so you just think it's great. One day she tells me about all this, and it's like, what?
And for some reason,
No wonder I'm nuts.
for some reason, Jay doesn't like snakes, and he's not sure why.
Yeah, I used to always think there was this invisible snake was gonna get me.
Probably.
Yeah, I think.
I wonder
get on
where
my
that's
bed,
from.
the invisible snake was coming to eat me.
I wonder where that's from.
Yeah. And whenever our mom would get us to chop meat up in little cubes for her, I'd be thinking about that.
Well, I shouldn't show you that.
My time as a baby.
I guess I shouldn't show you what you have in the fridge. It's steak that's been cut up into cubes, kind of like for stew. You probably don't like stew then.
I love stew.
Those little
But it
cubes
has
of
to be
beef.
good stew.
Little cubes of beef and everything.
Yeah.
Because that
Potatoes,
stew that I had
carrots,
about a week ago here,
peas, corn.
it had cubed steak in it and it was cooked in red wine.
That sounds nice.
That should bring back memories, huh? That was when you were telling about Happy Tree Friends.
That was priceless. You should have seen it.
Oh, I can imagine.
They were all like wide-eyed and happy when like.
In the
Hold on, let me show you this. I want to show you the theme song. One sec. This is why they were all wide-eyed, like wow, thought it was gonna be great. And they were watching it for a couple minutes, and all of a sudden, like ah, and they ran, hiding their faces in their mom, and like
And
with
that's
their
what
arms
kids
flailing all over the place.
That is why kids scream a lot, Jim.
It was
'cause
like
you
something
scared
you
them.
see out of the movies. I was like, it was priceless.
And that's why kids.
She
scream a
never
lot.
brought them back after that.
And that's why.
And then the one kid just stood there and didn't make a sound or a peep and just stood there and was staring. And I was like, that one's the evil one. And she left. And she came back screaming a couple of times, but then I never saw her after that. She couldn't make me daddy material.
No, I don't think so. Huh?
No.
You're not daddy.
Not after Happy Tree Friends.
You're not daddy.
And the way I was giggling maniacally as they ran away screaming from it.
You're not daddy material, man. No way.
No.